We're hearing there is growing pressure on Attorney General Loretta Lynch to step aside as the Justice Department weighs this criminal investigation. Joining me now, Rich Lowry, Michael Pregent, and Jillian Melcher. Michael, let me start with you. It doesn't go away. We continue to hear Hillary Clinton say these things were retroactively classified as top secret. But everyone from the legal side I talk to says that's not what's what anybody's concerned about here. It's the fact of the matter is that she should have known the content of these. They were being sent from a private server. They were not secure. How do you see this unfolding?
Well, if the counterintelligence expert at the FBI is looking into this to see whether or not foreign governments have actually gotten access to these emails, it's very concerning because from what I'm told from my sources is that names of individuals that actually worked for the agency were mentioned in these emails. And any time you associate someone's name with an ongoing operation in a different country, anyone who receives that email or sends that email knows that that's highly classified information. And that's why those 22 emails haven't been released, because they contain those names. And that's very concerning. So I think it's not only the people that took those messages off of classified servers and then put it on an unclassified server to send to Secretary Clinton at the time, but it's also some of the other language you hear that Hillary asked individuals that worked on her staff to go ahead and send it anyway, right, knowing that it was classified.
Right. You know, Jillian, and that it just seems, I know the Clinton ability to talk around things and this sort of use semantics, but it feels again like the noose is starting to tighten here just a little bit, because you just wonder how long it will take and if there's any deliberate foot dragging.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you see this reflected in her trustworthiness polls. People don't believe it. They're not buying the spin. She's being extremely slippery on this, and she keeps getting caught in contradictions. What I think is interesting with Loretta Lynch, though, is that public trust in government as a whole is down. You've got 1 in 5 Americans saying that the government is trustworthy. You've got now 3 out of 4 Americans saying that they believe that there's a lot of corruption going on. And I think the Obama administration's, actions like what happened with the IRS is not confidence-inspiring.
Hillary, of course, Rich, downplaying this, invoking Colin Powell, saying, hey, you know what, the former secretaries of state did the same thing, so.
Well, it's completely absurd. Colin Powell used the classified system for classified material, and every single line of defense that Hillary has put up during this entire scandal has been breached. And the idea that it's just being retroactively designated as classified is completely absurd, given that really sensitive information is born classified. And someone at the top level of our government knows how classification works. You speak to anyone who's worked in government, right, they know if they did the same thing, they would have been fired, demoted, and potentially face
Are the folks who kind of are in charge of the Democratic Party, Barack Obama and others, are they playing a dangerous game by, allowing this perhaps to be dragged out, or not dealing with it swiftly and bringing in Joe Biden or some other, alternative to Hillary?
Well, one, I think James Comey, the director of the FBI, is a man of integrity and is working entirely on his own timetable. But yes, it's completely insane that the Democratic Party has all of their eggs, except for a 74-year-old socialist who's completely unelectable, in this basket. She's not a good politician, and she has this major legal vulnerability hanging over her head, and she is a hostage to fortune now, and what the FBI concludes about the legality of this arrangement.
All right, guys, thanks a lot.